So what I'll do is that when I cut the live stream down, I'll just cut out all of the waiting, the timer, and everything, and it'll go straight to our little chat.
Cool.
While I'm doing this, how are you, Megan? How you been tonight?
Oh, I've been pretty good, just relaxing.
I've got another special guest. I'm trying to get Joel in here now because he got a letter in the mail today.
Oh, did he?
He did. He finally got his letter in the mail today. That's right.
Oh,
Let me see if I can add him.
so he
And
has his
while
solicitation litigation letter.
he got his solicitation litigation letter.
Oh, did he?
He did. He finally got it. There he is. What's up, Joel the Unwitnessed?
Hello.
Hey, hang on. I tell you what, Parker, I didn't know you were gonna call me. Give me like 1 minute.
Yeah. No problem. No problem. Take your time, buddy. We're just getting set up here. We're just getting set up.
Okay.
And yeah.
Oh, just coming back for like 1 minute.
So who's all in the chat? Are there any familiar faces?
Oh, that's a good question. Let me see about one thing real quick, and then we will start to engage the old live chat.
Cool. Whoever's there, hello. I can't see the chat, so I'm relying on keep an eye on it.
Yeah, the chat is usually pretty rabid. They're always going straight for the throat. I had my video screen bigger last time. I wonder what that's all about. Probably because... There, that's a little bit better. All right.
I'm really curious to hear what that letter says.
Oh, me too. I bet it's gonna be real good.
You never got one, did you?
No, don't bring that up. That's a very sore subject. I'm very broken up about that. I want one really bad. Oh, you didn't see that. Okay. I think we're good now as far as no, I did that wrong, I think. I think we're gonna go here. Ah, okay. All right. So, hopefully no one saw the answers to my little puzzle that I have set up. Because I had it on the screen while I was trying to figure out where it went.
Okay, that's better. Can you hear me?
Joel,
How you doing,
Hello.
guys?
the unwitnessed.
Hey,
What's up,
Megan.
my friend?
Parker.
Hey, so you got a little something in the mail, didn't you?
Oh God. First off, how's everybody doing tonight? Is my audio okay?
Your audio
Can you
seems
hear me all right?
fine to me. I'm about to hop into the live
Okay.
chat and see how pissed off they are.
Oh, okay. What I think is weird is that everybody else, um, it's just such a all right, so this is a really bizarre thing. When I step back, I think about this. This is really weird. Everybody else got an email. Why did I get a letter? Why does this asshole have my address?
Well, I
So
didn't get either, so
um,
don't feel.
you
I
will,
feel really
Parker.
jaded about that, by
You
the way.
will, but don't tell my wife.
But
Yeah.
don't tell my wife.
Yeah, but don't tell my wife. You have me up past my bedtime tonight, by the way. I was just about ready to go to bed, and I see your thing pop up, and I'm like, what? A 45-minute countdown? This has to be a typo. He's not really going to have me waiting here for 45 minutes. So yeah, I did.
Well,
Here I
Megan,
am.
my special guest, she lives like all the way in Chinook land on the far side of the earth, and like they don't even have sunlight where she lives, so it's really tough working around her schedule. But we're making do. We're making do. Do you have the document with you, sir? Do you have this fabled piece of
No, I was gonna make a video about it later on. I've got a couple of projects actually. When we did our November 5th, 2017 protest thing, I was able to get some equipment, and I'm gonna put a little bit of that to good use tomorrow night. Um, I'm going to be interviewing somebody who's been in the news. Well, the brother of somebody who's been in the news. It's not the actual guy. I'm sorry, I don't have that kind of time, but
Oh,
it's gonna be a good video. Yeah,
dude, that's awesome.
yeah,
So we can
yeah.
look forward to that in the next couple of days or something.
Yeah, I think we have to wait until the sentencing on Friday and to release it. But yeah, it's gonna be something like that. A
Dang,
few days.
dude. Looking forward to
Just give me
that.
a few, give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Plug your channel. You are on the Vast Apostate Hour channel, right?
That's just where we park our videos. I mean, a lot of people um have made content for that channel. It's not just me, but it is primarily me, the
Yeah.
human fly of the XPW community.
It's the cesspool of the gutter, right?
Yeah, in the flesh.
I love
So I
that.
don't really know. You were talking about the letter, and when I when I step back and I think about it, it's just bizarre because how it's worded, it's really strange. It's like he doesn't use Lloyd's full name. He doesn't give me any sort of an example of like what I actually said, basically. And I wouldn't be unfair to characterize it like this. Basically says, uh, Joel Martz, you've said some mean, vague things about my client, Mr. Lloyd Evans, and you're hurting his feelings and his business, but it doesn't list his business, by the way. I don't know what his business is. And then it says, so of course, 8,000 euros is the price for them not bringing criminal charges against me.
Well, to be
So
fair,
how
Joel, your
that's not
memes are
extortion, I
worth
don't really know.
8,000 euros. Your memes are totally worth
What's
8,000.
the exchange rate on that? What's that in dollars?
I have no idea. We can look
Guess
that
is
up.
as good as mine, bud.
Ask the live chat. They're geniuses. They'll know it.
Yeah, there's got to
They'll
be
Google
a
it.
I
European
Drop
can't
it in
see
the
the
live
live
somewhere.
chat.
chat.
I have no filter to keep out the Europeans, so I'm sure there's at least one or two in there. But Megan, I didn't play the channel last time we did a video. How is it like? What is it? It's just
Right now, it's just Meg's. It used to be, so years ago, my channel was called Meg Slaymaker, but I changed the name of it for reasons. And
What
now
was it
it's just
called?
Meg Slaymaker.
Like you
Yeah.
made sleighs, like Santa sleighs, or
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
it
I could
wasn't
see her
actually
in
a
a
sleigh, it was more
workshop
like
with a little
it
hat
was more like
and the
like
pointy
Slayer,
ears, and
like
I
Wow.
could totally see that.
This
So
is so
so
weird,
now it's
Parker. We
called
haven't been live in like
Megs.
years, This is so weird, like seeing you live. I had to stay up for this because this is something we used to do all the time, and it's like we haven't done this in forever.
I know, man,
well,
but like it's
Yeah.
I
long
just
overdue, you know? And so my whole intention with firing up the channel again is just kind of like have fun, like, I'm still not really looking forward to diving back into subject matter that we beat that shit to death like a broken, record for 4 or 5 years or something, you know what I mean? But there is a lot to
Parker,
talk
we
about.
we prophesied something about the November 5th, 2017 thing. Uh, because that goes back. That's just lore,
Hmm.
like apostate community lore, like way back in the day. The people that were on YouTube way back then, just it was just a meme, the vast apostate army thing, and it was like back when like a lot of apostates used to they used to like banter back and forth, like debate scriptures and stuff. And they would like talk to JWs. It was like a big thing that was happening. And so basically, a point that was made was like, Watchtower just misuses the scriptures, and there you go, you have their religion. So if they can do it, we can do it. And it was like a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing. It was like a fuck you kind of like, oh, basically
Talking
like,
about
look
the
at how
bandana
ridiculous this is.
people and the medium-sized stick people, and yeah, that was a
Yeah,
good
there were
moment in
those.
history.
But it's fun because, back then we were always joking about how it was going to be the day that the Watchtower died. And what was the result of that? That month, the JW broadcasting, it was late. And what did they do? They came out and they said something that, I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of like a legally damning thing, where they come out and say, we're never going to change the two witness rule.
You're never
That
going
should
Yeah.
have
to
caused people to pay
change.
attention.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
that
crazy.
was the first time I had ever heard a JW Broadcasting even mention the two witness rule. In fact, I don't know if they
Yeah.
ever referred to it as that before we did. We were
Yeah.
the ones calling it the two witness rule, not them. And then
So,
they point blank,
yeah,
not only did they highlight it, but they decided to double down on it, and the whole world
Yeah,
saw that.
they sent a message to the apostate community to just let us know this is never changing.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, they use that word, two witness rule. Like, that was not something that they even told the witnesses about before.
But
yeah,
they paint themselves into the corner with that kind of language.
yeah,
And
for
and then
sure.
that's the point I'm making here is that, you have to look at this from, I'm not the guy, but there is a guy out there who's looking at this from a legal standpoint, and I know enough to know that that's something that you just don't do.
And
And when
Joel,
you make that kind of a public announcement,
to your point, also what happened after that is they did change their rule book.
yeah,
It was probably like 2 years later they actually came out with their new edition of the Shepherd the Flock book. And in that one, instead of like one little measly paragraph that says, well, if nobody saw it, whatever, they changed it to like a whole like 2 or 3 pages. And granted, there's still a lot of ambiguity there, and like it's still kind of vague about how they actually handle it, because now what they do is they call the branch office, and that's where they get instructions. It's not just written in the book what to do anymore. But we
Mhm.
caused that change. I'm certain of it. I mean,
the
I mean,
timing is
obviously,
definitely suspect.
other actors were involved. Other things contributed. I'm not saying that it was just us, but
Parker, do you remember some of the things that we were told, like, like the rumor mill about, like, oh, they're throwing a fit in there about you guys and the governing body is arguing and stuff. Did you
yeah,
remember hearing like some of that weird
oh
stuff?
yeah. And then we
Do
had
do you
them
remember like who
filming
that
us
even came
from the
from?
headquarters through the shutters. Remember that?
Yeah, that was weird. I posted that finally to YouTube, you know. And it was really only just to show the difference of, how we were treated versus how other, I don't know, whatever. But it was weird at the end of the day,
Yeah.
really
I
strange, because they released that anonymously. Like, what was that about? We never got an explanation for that. So the only explanation I can think
was
of is
leaked.
that it was some sort of like a weird intimidation tactic. I
Could have
I,
been.
I can only surmise.
Could have been. None of that made
I
sense.
don't
That was
know.
really, really strange. And then
It was
our
weird,
buddy, remember our buddy Lloyd Evans? He went shortly after we did, and they just welcomed him in with open arms, and they gave him the grand
That was
tour.
weird.
Wasn't that
That was
I
weird?
don't know,
so
man.
weird.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
It was a little
that was
weird.
messed up. I was very suspicious of that. Like, you would think that they would know who he was as soon as they saw him, and you would think that they would refuse to let him video the premises, because who knows what the heck he's gonna do? He's an apostate, right?
Yeah, well,
Very strange.
so you'd think, right?
So you think, yeah.
I had the
But
cops
it,
called
it
on
was more
me.
than that. It's just that this guy was like making his living supposedly with like anti-watchtower activism. So why would they let him
Yeah,
in there?
Yeah.
really weird.
I don't know. I mean, I've always had my questions about the guy. I mean, it's always been like one big red flag. I hope that people, like they're starting to like understand what this guy is about, and they don't really realize that this has been going on for like a long time. Um, and I can only talk to you guys like we're friends, right? It. I remember like making videos way before Lloyd, and when he started making his videos, man, we all loved him.
Mm-hmm.
Like who didn't like him? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he made some good videos, and like I remember like sitting back and thinking, man, I'm glad this guy's making videos. Like that was my thought on it. That was my opinion on the guy. Um, so it was fun. We had like a 3-hour conversation one night on the phone, and he invited me to write for his website. He wanted me to write stuff for him. I didn't have the time. But I thought we were on good terms. I never just I didn't like wake up thinking I was going to get a legal letter. Like this didn't just happen overnight. So I just want
Yeah.
people to understand, like, there's a whole backstory,
Well, we're gonna
really.
be getting
Just
into a little bit of that because I want to play a game. Are you guys ready to play a game?
oh, I
Yeah.
like games.
All right, so what we're going to be doing is we are going to be playing Who Tweeted That? And on the screen here, I have a tweet, which I think the audience can see as well. Maybe not if the picture quality is bad,
I,
but you can up that.
I can't see it.
All right,
I can't
so
see it.
on the screen, I have a tweet, and the original tweet there is by Lloyd Evans. It says, "Thanks. It's just that whatever I've done wrong is between me and my wife. Everything else that everyone is complaining about is based on defamation. All I can do about defamation is pursue legal remedies, which is what I'm doing." Now, the person who we're guessing responded in this way. "As your friend, please accept my perspective is that yes, this is mainly between you and your family. However, I think you do owe more than to justify yourself to your supporters who donate to the cause. These are not to be confused with paychecks." All right, now, can anybody guess who that is talking right there?
No clue. Mark O'Donnell? I don't know.
That's a good guess, but no. Ah, whoa, the comment, somebody nailed it. Wow. Augustine TNZ guessed Vincent DePorter. That's,
Oh wow.
I don't know how they got that, but yeah, correct.
Didn't Vincent like make a bunch of stuff for him to sell, like his t-shirts and stuff, I heard?
I know that
Wasn't that
Vincent
a
has
thing?
been a supporter of his for a long time and a friend.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Lloyd went on to just rip Vincent a new one just for committing the crime of saying, "Hey, buddy, maybe you
Oh
could
my
play this
God.
a little bit better and like have some humility and give an
What a
Can I
shocker
apology
that
say
to your
something?
supporters."
Hang on. All right, so Vincent DePorter is like, now don't get me wrong. Everybody knows I've argued with
We
Vincent
all have.
DePorter. We all have. And the thing is that he's still a lovable guy at the end of the day. And it's like me and Vincent, it's like we unfriend each other on Facebook every couple of months, and then a few weeks later we're like, So
Yeah.
that's Vincent DePorter right there. He's a lovable guy,
Yeah,
right?
I don't
He's
have anything against the guy. I
he's
think
he's a
it was
harmless. Yeah, he's a harmless guy.
it was pretty
But that
it's pretty shitty how Lloyd treated him when I mean he's been a friend for a while, which is kind of like a
Yeah.
pattern that you'll see throughout I mean just
Well, can
all
I
the
tell you about a
interactions.
pattern? Can I
Joe,
tell you real quick, Parker?
go,
Because I
yeah,
mean, like
sure.
now that you mentioned because it makes me think back to like my own experience. Like okay, so all right, this is gonna sound really dumb, right? But it's you just don't go around treating people like this, right? I mean, I don't appreciate it either. Okay, I'm minding my own my own business on Facebook one night, and I see, oh, Lloyd Evans, John Cedars back then. What's he melting down about? Like he's having a public meltdown on Facebook, and it's like 100 comments in, and people are like, I can't believe Mike and Kim would say that about you. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know them. What did they say? And I'm like, so I look back at the source, and they're like, but Mike and Kim didn't say that. It was another guy. And so I made the innocent mistake of doing what Vincent DePorter did, and they said, hey, John, um, there must be like a miscommunication here because they didn't really say what you said they said. I'm like, have you talked to them, like, personally about this to clear
No,
it up?
I haven't.
No, 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 no. He goes, now get this. Apparently, that's just the thing that an insensitive tosser might say. And I was like, what?
He called
What
you an
was insensitive
insensitive
about that?
tosser?
Like, I was like,
It,
what? What? So it gets
that's
better.
such
It gets
a
better.
British
I
insult too.
That's a British insult
You
for real.
insensitive tosser.
no, but that wasn't the depth of my mistake. I sent him an email, right, saying, "Hey, buddy, um, this is unnecessary, and like we don't need this. This is, I said that there was some sort of miscommunication with you and Mike and Kim and stuff. Hey, can't we all just get along? And he responds back, basically, just accusing me of sanctimony and being disingenuous. And I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, all right, I have learned to stop asking people to be my friend, and like I've learned like when people show me stuff about them to pay attention to it. And from like that minute on, I was like, just kind of like a red flag about this guy. You
Yeah.
know, that was my personal experience there. Like
Speaking
I
of
put my best foot
red
forward.
flags, are we ready for another tweet?
Oh, I
Yes.
like,
All right.
sorry, and am I?
Somebody
No,
says
How's the
that's
live
okay.
chat? I can't see the live chat.
we
How
live
are they
chat's
doing?
popping right now. We got 39
Oh, yeah.
people. Everybody is after each other's throats. They're slinging poo. There's
Nice.
just it's a madhouse in there. It really is.
Oh, I remember the live chat. We used to have human sacrifices on
Yeah.
our podcast live
But see,
chat.
that was the vast apostate hour. I don't get human sacrifices for some reason on this channel, but one day,
I don't know
one
why.
day. But okay, so
It
this
was
tweet,
just because we would do it on like a Saturday night, and like everybody was just getting slammered at that point. It was like
yeah,
the
I got a
XJW
little
is
bit of
like you guys
brown.
are.
I got a little bit of brown.
Well, it's like yeah. That well, it's like a competition between the XJWs and the JWs to see who can outdrink themselves. But I don't know. I don't do that anymore. I got to be honest with you. I don't. I'm
I
That's
off
think
the
the
fair.
JW,
sauce.
That's
I think
fair.
the
Stay off the
JW is
sauce.
getting bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joel the Unwitness says, stay off the sauce. Those are words to live by. All right.
Unless it's a freshly prepared apostatini. There are rules.
Pastatini.
Oh yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. All right. Next tweet. Next tweet. If you're drowning in open sea, don't spite the driftwood for its failure to be a rescue ship.
Mr.
Anybody?
Rogers? I don't know.
It's not Mr. Rogers. Mago, you got a guess?
If you're
Who said that?
drowning in the sea, don't spike the driftwood for not being a boat. Is that what it
Yeah,
essentially
don't
said?
spite the driftwood for its failure to be a rescue ship.
Man, is that
Holy
a
shit.
reply to
In other words, if you're stuck on an island, just be happy that you got some driftwood and
exactly?
go paddle away and just, you'll be
So what?
fine.
Is it someone responding to Lloyd or?
Yeah, well, kind of, but we've got it. This Augustine TNZ in the live chat guessed it again. I'm guessing this is like a Twitter
He must have.
aficionado who was
This is a
leaked
rigged game.
into our podcast here. But yeah, it was Javier Ortiz. And this is another really
Ooh,
good buddy of Lloyd's who was a strong
It's not
supporter.
fair. Come on, don't pick on these guys, Parker.
What?
They're nice.
I like Javier. I'm glad he
Yeah.
said
I
that.
have nothing. Hey,
No,
listen.
it's just that.
This is
Yeah, I
just a
mean,
game show, okay? This is I'm
oh,
not putting out any ill will or negativity towards any of these people. I'm just showing you
come
what
on.
happens on Twitter
Yeah.
when you support a douchebag who goes and visits sex workers for 4 years, cheating on his wife, and
Whoa, that's what he's doing. Is he was referring to Lloyd as the twig?
yeah, this was
Is that what he's
shortly
doing?
after Lloyd got
Whoa, what?
angry.
Really?
Yeah,
I
if you're
get it now.
drowning in
Is that really
open
what he means?
sea, don't spite the driftwood for its ship failure or for its failure to be a rescue ship. Because
Wait a
Lloyd
minute. Wait.
began to
He's saying
complain
that
about
Lloyd.
Javier. Um, and he was like his only lifeline. This is over the documentary, in case you guys aren't familiar. There was
It's just
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So
yeah. How do you pronounce that? Javier or Xavier?
Javier. Javier.
Javier?
Yeah.
All right, so
I
Javier
think
was
so.
making the documentary, and Lloyd's getting cut out, and Lloyd's not very happy about that. And
Of course.
so he's made his not so happy opinions made known all over the place. And
hey
Javier,
Parker.
yes, sir.
So if like if like we were gonna be doing another Warwick thing, right? Say let's go back in the time. Let's go back. Hey, hop in my apostate time machine with me and
I already know where this is
um
going, but go ahead.
go back to 2017. If like 10 days before like our meetup, you found out that I was just out there banging all sorts of entrepreneurs, wouldn't you be like, gee, goddamn, Joel, like, fuck, man, like you wouldn't really want to go to Warwick with me, would you? Right? So, like, but I think that's kind of a dick move to put your friends in an impossible situation and then sit back and like talk shit about them for them not, feeling uncomfortable, basically having you a part of their project that it's covering a very sensitive topic.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That's kind
But
of a just that I can't.
no,
I that's
I think
unfortunate.
I think what Lloyd should
That's
have done in that situation was just gone to Javier himself and been like, you know what, it's okay. I'll just kind of take myself out of the project. But instead, Javier had to boot him because he's so socially inept to know what he
I'm
should have
so
done
glad
in
you
that
said that. I'm so glad you said that because that's absolutely how this should have played out. Instead of taking like a 1 month hiatus and then I'm back and I'm not apologizing and full steam ahead, it should have been I need to do some serious soul searching. I definitely don't need to be involved in anybody's CSA documentaries or videos.
Oh my God.
Right?
Hey Parker,
What?
can I be that jerk that points something out? I mean,
Yes.
I feel like I should probably ask for permission.
Go
Okay.
ahead. Go. Okay. Well, all right. How crazy are we going to get here? Because, like, with
Not
you,
crazy. I'm just saying in in the context of like this is a guy who the audience doesn't even know. He will call your places of work. He will seek out your friends and family. He will call your active JW parents. Okay,
Wow.
this is Lloyd Evans. Okay. Here's the thing. I'm not going to sit back and make videos about it and stuff because I don't want to give him that kind of satisfaction. Okay, but this is the context of this fucking I'm sorry. This is the context of this jackass that we're talking about here, right? So let me ask a question. How much money did he raise saying, asking nicely from the XGW community for his book, right?
a lot,
Didn't he raise like 30 grand? Can I
at
just ask that
least,
question, right? He
at
he raised like a
least.
bunch of money for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
How many of those people would have bought that book knowing what he was up to?
Not
Can I
many.
ask
I
that question?
wouldn't. I
I
mean,
mean,
I
do I
wouldn't have
have to be
bought
that
it,
ass?
period, because it's like this thick, and it's just him going, "I am so intelligent. Listen to me and my life story. It's plagued with masturbating in the shower and thinking about lunch ladies in erotic
Okay,
fantasies in which I
okay,
am the big man, always the big man."
okay.
But don't tell
As,
my wife.
But don't tell my wife. What, Megan?
as funny as that is, I will say, okay, because I did not know Lloyd was such a.
Did you buy the book?
I did years ago,
Sorry.
but listen. Okay,
Do
I
you still
did
have
not.
it?
I did no, but I
Did
did
you ever
not
read it?
know. I should. I
I
should
don't
like
know
return it.
anybody who's read it. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I should like
Sorry.
return it. I should return it. Be like,
Oh
hey
man.
Lloyd, can I get my money back? That'd be funny. But I bought it, okay, years ago.
Yes.
And to be fair, there is some good content in there, but it's not content that you couldn't get like elsewhere online. Okay, like he just got it from probably other XJW websites and just condensed it into a book. So it's not like it's all crap about him masturbating in the shower and stuff, but but like
But that's
But
definitely
to
in
be
there.
clear, there is a lot of masturbation included in this book, though. Like
Yes.
he does
an
talk about
inappropriate amount, like a lot.
With
it's really
girls.
strange that he's so like yeah, I don't know.
And
But the point is it's not all terrible, but I would say that people should be trying to return it now and like get their
Well,
money back maybe.
but
well,
yeah, I
don't
don't. I
feel
just don't think that
bad.
he would have had the support for it if people knew that he was out there banging
Yeah.
whores. I'm just saying.
Don't feel
Definitely, I would
bad,
not have
Megan,
bought it.
because
Definitely
Capitan
not.
says he also bought the
Yeah.
book.
Capitan bought him a. Never mind. Something with a. Capitan bought him something with that 20, didn't he? I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
don't have the live chat in front of me. I can't banter with you guys. I have to banter with you through here, and I can't even
$20
see your
in
responses.
Thailand will get you things that you can't even contemplate.
Hey Parker,
Yes.
can we play a game?
We're still
Can I
playing
can
a
I
game, but yes, sidebar game.
all right.
Go ahead.
Can I be that a-hole that further poses something to the XCW community that's just not been asked?
I
All right.
will give you a
Just
10-second window. Go.
okay. Think about it. In this unregulated industry in Croatia, right, that I guess gets frequented quite a bit, apparently. Isn't it unfortunate to consider that the conversation amongst these entrepreneurs has probably been had. Oh shit, it's that guy again. Oh God. Oh, which one of us is getting him, right? And then and then the thing is unfortunate part of this whole thing, the real shame is that, if it's an unregulated industry, then who's to say that they're charging the same amount of money for everybody who walks through the door,
Mm.
right? And so I'm suggesting is that has Lloyd ever like unknowingly paid a whole lot of extra money to get the services rendered that maybe somebody else. I'm just saying, like,
Joel, I
there's an
would think you
economical
would almost
standpoint to
have
this
to.
entire thing.
You would
It's a
almost have
conundrum.
to. Like this is a premium rate for, you have guys who are just there like partying on spring break, but they probably get the normal rate. Then you got like the older, like weirder dudes. And then like somewhere above that is LE Lloyd Evans with the I really don't want to deal with this guy again.
The
$400
gobbler
for
brought his McDonald's with him again, girls. Oh,
Okay.
it's party time.
Okay. Enough. Enough. Okay.
No,
Enough, Joel.
it's never enough.
All right.
Sorry.
Next tweet. Next tweet.
But could you imagine him? Like, I could picture Lloyd like bringing his McDonald's with him. Like, he's in a hurry. You know what I mean?
Hello there. Okay. The
But
next
don't tell
tweet.
my wife.
Don't tell my wife. In my latest video, I tackled the rumors surrounding Judge Joseph Rutherford and marital infidelity. Rumors
Ooh.
surrounding Judge Joseph Rutherford and marital infidelity. Who tweeted that?
Well,
Lloyd did.
Lloyd, yeah.
That was easy. I'm sorry. That was low-hanging fruit. I couldn't help it. Yeah, that was Lloyd. Yeah, I just thought I threw that in there because it's like all this time talking about it is none of your business what I do
But
with
the thing
my
is, didn't CT Russell get caught banging his secretary or something like that, and she was like way younger than him and all that, and like
Oh,
that was the crux of the matter,
there's all
right? You
kinds.
guys heard about that?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
I
a
have.
Yeah. Supposedly that's the story. I mean, supposedly he also fell down the stairs, or was that Judge? The judge fell down the stairs. CT Russell was poisoned by the judge. Yeah, that's how it works. I know my lore.
people hate my English accent apparently. But you have to understand that I'm trying to make it sound as lazy and sluggish as possible to like mimic Lloyd.
He's doing
So
the Lloyd accent. It's not quite
What?
like a typical British accent.
exactly. Okay, so just easy. I'm sensitive, guys. You be easy in the
Apparently, we
live
both
chat.
really
No,
suck.
but Parker, you do it so good though. I love it. Like, can you just for me real quick? Can you just give me your best, but don't tell my wife. But put your heart into it.
But don't tell my wife. Hello there.
You do. I think you mimic Lloyd really well. Actually, there was the one
It
thing you said in our last video that was incredibly like him. When you said nobody's perfect, I actually like saw him in my head.
Nobody's
That
perfect.
yeah,
All right, anyways,
that is
my
oh
channel,
boy.
but you don't have to kiss my ass just because you're on my channel. Okay. So, Twitter tweet another victory for CSA survivors. Sentencing for JW Elders, Pencava and Scott, March 25th, 2022, trying to get an interview arranged. So this is on a more serious note. Apparently there was some JW Elders that were sentenced like today or something for being scumbags. Who tweeted this out?
Yeah, that was Mike and Kim.
I should have like asked. I should have at least asked Megan before I gave it
yeah.
to you. But yeah, you're right.
This
Totally.
is a really
Uh,
hard game for me because I don't have Twitter. I never venture onto Twitter
Well,
because
what's going
don't.
on with
It's a
that,
sewer.
Megan? Do you live
content.
on? Do you live under a rock? What's going? No, I only Joel. I think me and Joel started Twitter just so we could talk about Lloyd.
Well, the thing is, you know, it just became so insufferable to be around like any of the Exjw stuff, and I had to focus on myself and my family and stuff. So, I just we always kind of went into it having a goal of doing our 2017 protest thing, and like that's what it was for me. Was like, and I think that's how it was for you too. Is like it was like, well, what are we gonna do? Are we just gonna like sit around, or like if we were gonna do something, what would we do, and what would that look like? And we were able to kind of sit around and wargame all that. And we met all of our goals. I mean, the W5 thing was cool. I mean, that really was a great job they did.
Oh, phenomenal. It's one of
And
the best like
and to
XJW documentaries in my opinion.
easily. And the thing is it was just really exhausting and really like I'm kind of more of a private person, honestly. It takes a lot out of me to be kind of like my goofy self, and you know that, Parker. And so I really I think that the thing is like it was great making like a lot of friends and really seeing how uh, human nature works. It's really fascinating, and seeing how a lot of different people think after they kind of get out of the cult thing. And for me, it was just kind of time to really move on. So and I never really even considered myself an activist. I don't even like that word. Um, but we set out and we did something cool with a propaganda win over the Watchtower. We got them to say some stupid things, and it was funny that they banned people from going out in service that weekend. That was one thing that I that I heard from a couple different sources that I do believe, because
Yeah.
we never saw anybody out there. We were all over
Yeah.
the place, and and so now I kind of just make content on YouTube that I enjoy, and I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So if you because I want to be doing a little bit more on YouTube, but the stuff I'm going to be uploading, it's not going to have anything to do much with the JW
I'm
thing.
not everyone's cup of tea either. That's why I have Megan on here, cuz like nobody can be mad at her. I mean, how would you be mad at her? So,
I'm
speaking of
I'm
which,
everyone's cup.
where were you? What were you doing when the whole W5 thing and like the Warwick shit was going on?
Me? You
Yeah.
asking me? Um, so what was I doing? I was watching all of it and so proud of y'all. And I actually made a video on my channel, a commentary on the whole Warwick thing, because I was just so like, you guys inspired me. Like, that's why I went to London, was because I was like, damn, I didn't get to go to headquarters, but I'm going to the next one. Like, I don't
Yeah.
care. I'm going. And because I had like, when you guys went, what year did you go to Warwick again?
2017.
Okay, so and it was November. Yeah, I think I was like, yeah, I was like heavily pregnant with my daughter, so I would not have been able to go. But
That's something
definitely,
that people don't really talk about too, is that after we did our thing in Warwick, it kind of spiraled into a lot of protests after that. Like there was
yeah.
so much momentum after Warwick for, getting people's faces and telling them, hey, you're not doing right by children. There's pedophiles everywhere in your organization. I mean, like, you can call it aggressive if you want, but we actually started a movement. And like, you can call making videos and commentary a movement if you want, and there's value in that for sure. But when I think of a movement, I'm thinking about like bodies hitting the streets and like doing things. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm very proud of what we did, Joel, because like people started to do things after we did what we did.
What was so weird, Parker, was I found out last year that a friend of mine, just one of the neatest conversations I've ever had, really, where he credited that GW Broadcasting as being the moment where it snapped inside of him, and he was like, I don't want to have anything to do with these people. He said, if they can't admit that they have a problem, if they can't say it like they're willing to change, that was the last straw for him. He had been really uncomfortable with a lot of the changes that had been made anyways. So, but it was just great to hear that, um, and the comments section on W5 was pretty lit. But here's this guy that I know, that his wife and I and him come over for dinner, and we did Christmas together, and he told me that, yeah, that was the moment that it snapped, was for him, was that stupid announcement they made from GW Broadcasting saying that we will never change the two witness policy. So,
Mhm.
so like you said, I mean, really, it's debatable. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's not an uncomfortable thing for people to stand up and give their testimony in the Kingdom Hall, but it was really unfair how a lot of people characterized what we did. I think really, if you can't handle the idea of a few women standing up and just giving a testimonial and interrupting a meeting for 60 seconds, like if that makes you want to crap your diapers, then I guess we can have that conversation, right? But don't go around calling it domestic terrorism. Like,
No.
give me a break.
Did you guys,
It
Such a
was
activism.
fodder. The thing is, people were like, oh, well, that's pointless. I mean, the same, look, when the cameras were in there and, it sounds, it's always going to mean more, I think, coming from women who have lived that experience than it is from like some guy standing up and saying, hey, I've been shunned. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Mm.
Like, but when something real has happened to you, and like, not only have you had to endure the physical and emotional trauma of that whole thing, but it's like also you get your family taken away. It was really something that, that's the most powerful moment of that whole documentary is just when those women stand up. And yeah, it was uncomfortable, interrupting that meeting and everything, but it guarantees you a spot on the radar. It guarantees you that a message is being sent and delivered. That
Oh yeah. That's
it's not
that
a
was
pretty
always my
thing. I'm
point.
not going to sit back and say that it is. I mean, I don't. A lot of people are like, I just want to remind people that back in the day, it would have never been like up for debate. I think like 10 years ago, people were like, flash mobbing conventions and stuff. People, you'd have a group of a dozen people go and interrupt a convention.
I
You'd have people you would have
Megan,
people
you
like jumping
did
into the
you
baptismal pool. So like don't give me crap about like what we did as if it's like something that, was like we weren't the first ones to do it. We just got it on TV and that's why everybody hated us.
Megan,
So
you crashed a convention too, didn't you?
I did. It was so much fun.
awesome.
And it was you guys, again, you guys inspired me. And did you know that you guys also inspired a bunch of Mormons to crash Mormon
What?
places of worship?
No way,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Uh,
there's crashes on YouTube of Mormons going in like after you guys did it.
Were they wearing like overalls and magic underwear or
No, it's just like ex-Mormons going in and doing what
Oh,
you guys
okay.
essentially,
I
right?
I I
And
kid. Sorry. If you're an ex-Mormon, I'm just playing. It's a
they
he's
took
joke.
not
off the
kidding.
magic
I'm not
underwear. They
kidding. I'm
stopped.
not kidding.
Doing
I
But
want to I want
yeah,
to do another
and
tweet. All right. This one's good. Lloyd.
How's that live chat, man? If anybody says anything crazy and wild, I got to know about it because I can't see it.
You know what, Joel? I appreciate you because I am ignoring the shit out of the live chat and I really shouldn't. I was kind of thinking like towards the end of the video I would just like let them have it, just let them say whatever the hell they
I wonder if
want.
you'd be getting super chats for this. Like, if you had your channel monetized, like, is this the type of stuff people are like,
Oh yeah.
"Hey Parker, here's $10 to say the word booger." Like, would people do that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. If I
I
were
bet they
Lloyd
would.
Evans, I would have already made 3 grand on super chats alone.
Jesus.
I mean, they're mostly just talking about how handsome I am and how well I'm doing as a YouTuber and just as a person. That's really all I'm seeing in the live chat so far. But
Whatever. They're having a live Burning Man concert festival right now, aren't they?
yeah, they're going nuts in there. Okay, hold on, hold on,
Somebody
hold
just
on.
got the beehive net over the head.
Christy Ann says, "Great. Now every time I see Lloyd, I'll hear Sloppy Joe, Sloppy Joe." I have no idea. I have
Sloppy
no
Joe,
idea.
sloppy Joe.
Listen, I don't know why that was said. I didn't. I didn't say that. YouTube, I didn't say that.
The
I don't know.
gobbler.
The gobbler,
The
yes.
gobbler. You kill me. You kill me.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it.
Hey, do you know how hard it was for me to keep a straight face when I had to read off the Pussy Destroyer and the Gobbler of Marco's testimony?
I've
Ah!
been meaning to
That was
ask. All
horrible.
right. You know
It
what?
was fun.
That's a separate video in and of itself, but that is pretty
Oh, is it?
impressive that you're able to put those words out there and not have an aneurysm laughing, quite honestly. But
I did that video in 2 takes, man.
in my
Because
tweet,
what happened was the first take was okay. Let me tell you how this went, right? So I get handed this thing. They're like, "Hey, we voted you to do this." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I'm reading it, and like the first time through, I go, like, his online screen names include the Pussy Destroyer. I go, And I just look up to the camera and I go, "Really, Lloyd?" And then I go right back into it, and everything else was fine, but I'm like, I gotta fix that. So I
All right,
re-recorded it.
hold
Yeah.
that thought because next tweet, all right? Lloyd,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I am inviting you to pay 3,000 euros to my medical bills because my fucking sides are splitting here. Who said that? Who tweeted that?
Was that like all worldly or something? I don't know.
That's your guess? Alt worldly? Megan, who do you think said that? Lloyd, I'm
Peanut
inviting you to
butter.
pay 3,000 euros to my medical bills because my fucking sides are splitting here. And she's got,
Mm.
oh, I said she.
Oh, it's a she.
It's the girl. Okay, that's
This person
Mm.
has the document that she was sent, and it's full of spelling errors and just, it's not a legal document whatsoever.
oh, it's Cora Latham, is it?
Is that your guess,
Sorry.
Cora?
Yeah, sure.
What about the live chat? Anybody know? I think they all fell asleep. All right, so no, actually, that would be Luis.
Oh, Louise, I should have known
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, her tweets have been freaking phenomenal.
Louise is
Oh,
funny.
Capitan squeezed in Luis just before I clicked the button. I don't know if I should give it to him or not because he bought a copy of Lloyd Evans' book, but
Technically, technically, I did too. So let's
you're
give him
right.
a pass.
You're right.
Parker, do you remember what happened to my copy of his book?
Did you like burn it or something?
No, no, no,
Did you like cut out a
no.
star and like a pentagram? What did you
No.
do?
What? No,
I'm
come
just
on.
wondering.
No, it's way less glamorous than that. So it was open next to my desk. I was this is like I don't know, 2017 or whatever. Somebody had bought his book to thumb through it, decided that they didn't want it, and then they sent it to me. So I got his book secondhand. I didn't pay for it. So I had his book, but I didn't pay for it. Anyways, I literally just I had like a I was really sick and I had food poisoning and I thought, you know, thought I was all right, but it turns out I was not all right. And it was like a yak attack and I had no option but to just, right. And fortunately his book was open to catch about 80% of what happened. And
You're
I remember just
joking.
like no, I remember like wiping my lip and just like busting out laughing. I'm just like, oh my God. And so I looked at it and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna clean up. And so I just threw it away. So that's what happened to it.
Well, you did the right thing. I think I can speak for
Yeah.
most people in the live chat. You did the right thing, Jay.
And then it started flapping and flying all around the room, and then it started screaming, and then it busted out the window and it flew away.
Yeah, that tracks. That's on brand. Yeah.
It was screeching. I'll never forget the noise.
I had more tweets, but they got out of order, so just we'll end it there. I had one tweet that was about the crisis of conscience debacle,
Oh,
which not a lot
yeah.
of people
Oh,
know this, but good old Lloyd Evans, or John Cedars as he was known back then, he tried to sell his own printing of Crisis of Conscience with a partner of his. I forget his name. And he was charging like 200 bucks or something. I don't know. It was madness. And some of us,
was
me
he actually
included,
charging?
huh?
Was he
No, he
charging
was
200?
he was selling them for $50 a pop. That email that you saw was for four of them, and so it was gonna be $200
Oh,
plus
okay.
shipping.
Okay,
So,
thank you. I'm
but
glad
he
you
was selling them.
specified. Don't want to put out
Yeah,
misinformation out there. They were only $50.
But that's
yeah.
still. Anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, he was trying to
And they
sell
were
the.
legitimate. Hey, just to be sure, they were legitimate reprints that he. I'm kidding. No, he didn't own any of the rights to it whatsoever.
No, he did not have any of the
But
rights
what
to
was
it.
funny was I remember like I made a video back then, and I remember like because I was stunned by the back and forth that you had with them because you're like, bro, like this is like a clear copyright thing, hey, what are you doing? And then he's all like, Parker, you've been clearly duped by the evangelical wing of the XGW community.
That's what he said.
The only
That's what
reason
he
you're
said.
disagreeing with me, yeah, like not like like that's it, like basically like, oh no, you're just stupid. Like that was his response.
I
And
was a
I don't
fan.
know, it was
I was a
weird.
fan. Honestly, Joel, if you remember, that's how I found out who you were. That's how I found out who Tony was because this guy pissed me off
Wow.
so bad. I was like, well, I gotta find out who these guys are that are shitting in his
Mhm.
cornflakes because they're probably cool dudes. Uh,
Oh, come on.
and I was
Hilarious.
right. You guys
So
were
Yeah,
you
awesome.
that's the most interesting thing about me, Parker, is the fact that I don't like lawyers. Just want
Hey,
to be
hey, hey,
clear.
hey. Yeah, that's
okay?
okay. Nobody
So wait a
said
minute. Wait
that. Okay, I'm
I'm a
just
very
saying.
one-dimensional person.
a minute.
I mean,
So
I might have
Parker,
seen. I think I probably clicked on one of your videos, and definitely I saw Tony Prime's memorial toast video before that, but I didn't know who it was that had him so pissed off. And when he pissed me off, because all I did was say, "Hey, man, this is not a good look." Like as a writer myself, there's no way I would do this. There's no way you should feel comfortable doing this. You don't have the right. This is somebody else's work. Like, that's not how we do things. And he was like, well, you can go fuck yourself. And I was just like, all right, well, dude, I'm done. I tried to help. And we're seeing that right now play out to like hundreds, if not thousands, of people that has tried to interact with him on this current scandal and saying, "Hey, man, not a good look." And he's like, "Well, clearly you have been buying the defamation campaign by Joel, the
it's
unwitting."
always the same.
Clearly, you're not evolved enough to understand that prostitutes are a part of my balanced diet. Like what?
Yeah.
Oh, but
You
Parker,
know,
I didn't know that you were the one who first, went after him about the book thing.
Oh,
That's
no, 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 no,
interesting.
not at all, not at all. I was nobody then. Like I had like maybe one or two videos out, and
Okay.
I had been following Lloyd for a while because like his videos were good, and like back then they were pretty good. Like he was like much less production value, and he's like more
I
just
liked his
like,
early video.
yeah, he was like more casual back then. But anyways, I just caught wind of the scandal and I chimed in on his comments in YouTube. And
Okay.
yeah, and he like
And
ripped
he
me a
was like,
new one.
you
Like he,
you've been led astray by the evangelicals.
yeah, that's
What?
crazy enough. That is the
What
language that he
what a
used.
stupid thing to assume. Like what a dumb thing to assume. Like
it's
Yeah.
not just that it's copyright, but I mean, let's just okay now. Obviously, nothing's gonna happen. He stopped with the cease and desist, but I mean, it wasn't just copyright infringement. But I mean, when you're doing things like taking orders, you're talking about international, wire fraud implications there. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't just the copyright, but the point is it shows you where his head's at, and it shows you what like he thinks is, he just tries to get away with. Not that he ever took responsibility for it. And so I'm just saying, like, you mentioned earlier, like patterns, and we're talking about like red flags and stuff. Like, a guy that does this just doesn't have any respect for his audience. He thinks that you're stupid. He just wants to
Well,
do
he
him and
does
and and
assume you're
and get away with
stupid,
it. So
and he will tell you so without any remorse or without hesitation. Like the language he used to me, a subscriber who he had never met, was like I just came off the street. I mean, it was so
how
condescending.
dare you talk to
There's no
me?
way I could be that condescending even if I was trying to mimic Lloyd. Like Lloyd's condescension in written form especially is just something to behold. Like it is just,
yeah, he should
You
like
know,
get a medal for that or
he
something.
really
Like
should
just
get a
it's so
fucking medal.
funny, Parker. If you go back and you look in that comment section, you'll see Telltale Atheist, this guy that went on to have like a big, hey, I'm an atheist, everybody, YouTube channel, that guy. His
Hmm.
comments defending Lloyd, like doing backflips in the comment section to suck up to him. Oh, they just age so well. I
They aged
love it.
so well.
It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that, and now you're a popular world famous YouTuber
All
and
right,
support his
so
Patreon.
I guess we can read some comments. Are you guys
yeah,
ready for
go.
your comments to be read? I'm gonna try,
Do you
but
have one of
man,
these rules in your live chat, like where if somebody writes something in all capitals, like you have to address it? Like, do you have that rule? Because that rule
Joel,
gets us in
Joel,
trouble. I'm just
you're
saying.
living in the past, my friend. This is not the vast apostate hour. I am nowhere near that structured. I just throw spaghetti on the wall and then I
All right.
read signs from it somehow. All right.
I just go
So
on
I
YouTube and read Twitter.
yeah, I just read Twitter comments and everybody laughs because they're fun. Twitter is a lot more fun than I thought it was. I always had like a chip on my shoulder about Twitter, but it's pretty
I still do.
addictive. It's like the best
Is it?
place in the world to just take a shot at somebody and walk away. You know what I mean? It's just like
I told Steven Hassan if he ever needs help rooting out the cult leader right underneath his nose for years on end, just to let me know.
Stephen
I didn't get any
Hassan.
sort of an answer. I don't know.
Should we talk about Stephen Hassan for a minute?
Yes, I would love to.
Megan, I want to hear
Oh, come
you
on.
just give me like a mild version of one of your epic rants. I want to hear what you have
Oh
to
my
say
God.
about Stephen Hassan.
I you put me on the spot here.
Sorry. No. Cancel that. Cancel that. Just speak casually.
Okay. Stephen Hassan annoys the heck out of me because for somebody who's supposed to know so much about cults, and I mean, listen, I have the guy's books. I appreciate his work. I like his bite model. But man, is he ever silent when he should be speaking out? Like crickets from that guy when it's clear as friggin' day and you just want to hear something from the guy who's telling everybody what a cult is and it's right in front of our faces and he's just like silent. Nothing.
Are you suggesting that in the past 2 years that there's been a whole lot of stuff not been allowed to talk about?
Yeah, yeah, I'm suggesting that, and I'm
Hmm.
suggesting that Stephen Hassan not only didn't address it at all, even though it was actually following right
Hmm.
along with his bite model, he also supported it and like pretty much called everybody else crazy who didn't support it. And that
Yeah.
just irked me like so much.
So you're
I
suggesting
can't
that there
stand
was like one narrative that you couldn't question for the last two
it.
years. You couldn't even like discuss it openly. You would have to stick to a script so that you didn't get
Even if
canceled
you,
by society. Is
yeah,
that kind of what you're?
yeah, if you discussed it, it would be taken down.
All
Like
right.
social media went after you, everything. It
All right.
was, and Stephen Thon and all of them, let's be clear, all of the cult experts, because I actually liked all of their work. None of them spoke out about any of it.
Yeah.
I just, I baffled. I'm still baffled about it.
Yeah.
Very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Yeah, me too. And we could probably go down that rabbit hole in like a whole separate video and like really dig into it. But I was supposed to
Here's the
read
thing
comments.
about Steven Hassan,
Yeah,
if
let's
I
hear that.
might. When you're talking about somebody who really enjoys going on national news networks, NN, something like that, um, he's not going to do anything that's going to jeopardize his being able to go back on those shows and have the little words come up underneath his name, cult expert and stuff. He's
Hmm.
not going to do anything to jeopardize that. Okay.
Isn't that kind of the
So,
definition of
I
corrupt?
could sit back and I could say, what's that?
Isn't that kind of the definition of corrupt when you won't speak honestly because you're afraid of losing income?
Yeah, it's not it's more than that. It's like he doesn't want to lose the notoriety of because right now he's the most probably well-known cult
Well, yeah,
expert,
that's what I was getting at. Yeah, it's a
right?
notoriety thing. It's a certain spinelessness as well. The guy is basically I can't really tell if he's like just well-meaning and he's a bumbling kind of socially awkward and an inept kind of guy. I don't know. I don't really know Stephen Hassan. I've seen a lot of his blogs. I know what he writes about. I know that he goes on about all the time. I think that you're just talking about a guy who he wants to be relevant. I think that sitting back, that's why Lloyd is tweeting about Ukraine every other 2 seconds. It's because the JW stuff is boring to them. Talking about cults 24/7 is actually boring to Stephen Hassan. And so, he thinks that for whatever reason, his background is going to give people pause to think that, oh, maybe he knows something about politics. Maybe this is something that we should talk to. And somebody's opinion that we should entertain because he's accredited and stuff. I don't really know, but I mean the thing is that I can't help but see how these guys scratch each other's backs whenever they have a book to sell.
Yeah.
And it's just a behavior that I think you notice, and I have the guy's books too, but I think that it's a pattern that you just notice over time. It's like when their life depends on talking about cults and they don't have a full-time job and they're trying to market this thing. I don't know. It just seems like the money aspect kind of just automatically brings a bit of a conflict of interest into the whole thing. Because it becomes something else. It's not like an honestly like organic thing that they're doing. They're not doing it because they want to do it. They're doing it because there's a paycheck in it, and
Scratch my back,
that's a
I'll
pretty
scratch
crappy.
yours.
That's a
Yeah,
crappy motive, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's something that needs to stay out of it. I've always told people, like if you can't do it from a place of love, like you probably should stay out of it or work on yourself until you can.
So
Very
you
good.
know what I think that Stephen Hassan probably had very good intent, with his first book, Combating Cult Mind Control, and like I don't know. I think he has maybe still does have good intent, but he's more concerned about the notoriety and losing that, as far as what the mainstream goes. But here's what's crazy is these people that don't speak up. I don't get it because there's literally a whole counterculture that they're not accessing because they just won't be authentic and they won't be honest. Like, just be yourself, and if the mainstream doesn't like it, it's going down in flames anyway. Like, honestly, like I'm getting so tired of people being so afraid to speak truth. Like, it's
That's actually
frustrating.
a really good point. Like, there are lots of countercultures, not just one. Like, I think I know what you were talking about with like the COVID thing, but also like you have this whole huge group of people who've been burned by Lord Evan, and they're
Mm-hmm.
also not representing them. By the way, I got messaged not long ago. I can't give very many details about it, but I got messaged by an XJW who was severely triggered by people defending Lloyd Evans. Severely triggered because this person has been through just the worst crap, and the mental gymnastics that people were using to defend Lloyd were the same
Mm-hmm.
mental gymnastics that were being used to defend her abuser. Okay?
Of
And
course.
like knowing that, why are these cult experts and these activists at least mentioning the fact that they are they need to come out 100% and be like, I'm putting myself as far away from this character as possible. I do not endorse his actions. They need to say something, right? And to my knowledge, has Stephen Hassan done anything like that?
No, but would he mention anything to do with Lloyd really though? Like, is he that close to Lloyd
They did
or?
podcasts all the time. They're in pictures together, and like I don't know how intertwined they are as far as like their business dealings or whatever, but I don't
Yeah.
know. You would think that him being this massive figure in the Extras witness community, and you are
Look, they
the
have
cult
each other's phone
expert.
numbers, okay? Let's just be real, all right? They know each other.
Yeah.
They're in cahoots. They're in the same fucking game with each other. They know what's going on.
Yeah,
They know each other. I don't know if they're like butt buddies or I'm sorry, bosom buddies or you don't know if like they're best friends or anything. You don't know really,
yeah.
but certainly they're endorsing each other, and they're always interviewing each other. Oh, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
come on.
where is
No,
his
there's
video calling out all the manipulation tactics that Lloyd used in that video? Where
Well,
is his
okay.
book about, cult personalities like John
Yeah.
Ceda's Lloyd Evans?
Listen, oh gosh, I just thought of something. Okay. That's a good point you brought up though about him having to say something in regards to Lloyd because Stephen Hassan for like the last few years has been banging the drum hard when it comes to like human sex trafficking and how it's very cult like and how they
Really?
yes, yeah. So that is very interesting actually. So he
I just
really
see a principle playing out here. I see people that are basically more, and I'm just gonna say like seemingly, like I'm not gonna say this is like exactly probably this is my suspicion. Um, excuse me. Um, Parker, my train just derailed. Give me a second on this.
You'll come back to it. You'll come back to it.
Yeah.
I do
Sorry.
want to I do want to talk a little bit about I want to get some live chat out there, and then we're going to close this puppy down because Parker doesn't like to stay up this late, generally speaking. All right.
Yeah,
A
my
pasta
brain's
babe.
misfiring officially. You got me up way past my bedtime.
I'm sorry, homie. Like if you got to go, I'm not gonna hate you, man. Like
No,
I
no, it's
appreciate
fine.
you coming on and telling us about that
No,
letter that you got in the mail for show. Um,
no, it's not your fault. My blue healer gets me up at like 4 a.m. on the dot every day, so it's fine. No, this is a fun time. I wish yeah, I'll think of it. I'm
You'll
sure.
think of it. So Linda
I have
James,
Alzheimer's
she's
apparently.
been a long time in the community. She's probably commented on almost all my videos. Pasta Babe. She says, I've been curious about how the hospital liaison team is picked and trained. Do they too have a do they too have a secret manual that they use? Like, okay, here's how it's actually done, in my opinion. So they're like, we need somebody to be on the hospital liaison committee. You want to do it? And he's like, yeah, all
Yep,
right, I'll
I'll
do it.
do it.
Yeah.
Do I get to kill people?
Yeah.
This sounds
Yeah.
pretty good.
Do I get to wear a doctor's coat? Am I an expert now? Hey.
I get to carry a Bible.
Do
I
I
mean,
get to
that's just
convince
my
people
opinion.
to
I
let
don't, like
themselves
it's hard
die?
for me to think that any faction of Jehovah's Witnesses are like experts at anything other than like propaganda.
Pushing them up.
Yeah, I don't know. But it is a good
Isn't it
question. I would
it's like
like to know more about that. I wish somebody would find that
I
information out. That
thought
would
it
be
was
great.
I
Oh,
thought it was a specific
Parker.
elder that in the hall, like a specific, like you know how they have different elders for different
Hmm.
things? I think it's a specific elder, is it not? Or is it just a random
Yeah, but
dude?
it's more than one person because it's a committee, right?
Yeah, but I think there's one guy who's like the lead of it, but I could be wrong.
Well, he just gets the Holy Spirit and then he says, I am the liaison committee now.
Yeah, I mean, man,
By
that is
your powers combined, we are the liaison committee. No, Parker, I remember what I was going to say. I think that it comes back to a principle of, just like any organization, it's not just the cults. Like a lot of people have been very, it they get caught up in the our reputation, versus covering up something that maybe should have been made public. And I don't know. I don't know if there's any of that going on with a lot of people, that write books and the experts. Like I just think that it's like they don't really want to rock the boat. They don't want to mess up their, I don't know, whatever facade or persona they're trying to portray.
yeah,
Um, it's funny to see, like with Stephen Hassan, he writes a book, a political book, from the cult expert perspective, um, which I don't know. It just seems like it's just into, to me it was sellout territory. I'll say it, Stephen. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
I
Anyways, it was
honestly think that
sellout.
the last book of his was more about jumping on the bandwagon so that he knew he would get, a lot of support for it from the mainstream, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked for him. I mean, he was on CNN for it. I thought that was funny. I was like, "Hey, it's Stephen Hassan. He's a cult expert. Look at that. Oh wow. Oh wow."
Of course, CNN would have him on there for that. They
And now
just
it's a cult expert interacting with propaganda experts. Oh, this is a show. Like that's what I was thinking.
Well, that's another thing that I find interesting because Stephen Hassan should be very well aware of that because he also talked a lot about what do you call that? Man, it's like a CIA term they used. Why can't I think of it?
Profiling. Nah, I don't know.
No, no. What is it? Propaganda actually through the CIA, like there was a name on it.
Are you talking about the MK Ultra program? Why does
Yeah,
that come up in every episode?
thank you. It was that. It was
Why
that.
is it just because I'm on something? MK Ultra's got to come up?
No,
It's
but
it.
I had
That's
It's
nothing
just
to
your
do with it. I
aura,
told you
man.
guys.
It's just your
okay,
aura,
but
man.
Stephen Hesson talks. He talked a lot about MK Ultra too. Like I've heard him talk about MK Ultra. So again, another thing that just like he knows all this stuff and he chooses to remain silent, and it just really makes me angry. Because right now,
Well,
Yeah.
I think that a thesis could be written on how I think that what happened is that Lloyd basically sat back and studied how the Watchtower does business, and he just reproduces. In my mind, I think he reconstructs the nauseatingly hypnotic uh mono tone that sounds like a Thursday night meeting to begin with.
Mm.
But he hits on all the same manipulation techniques. I mean, really, I would dare the audience to take the challenge. Take anything that he says, literally anything that he's ever written, slap the Watchtower font on it, and then replace any reference where he makes to himself, and then like replace that word with Jehovah, and then ask yourself, does this guy or does he not like communicate in Watchtower? Like, I think that some people, unfortunately, the Machiavellian narcissists, that they recognize that, and it's an easy payday for them, and I think that that's what's going on. That's just my suspicion. For
Fair.
all
yeah,
the Croatian lawyers out there who are watching this and want to bag me with some criminality for insulting your boy,
Oh, now that I
sorry.
have you on the show, Joel, I should be getting my letter any day now, I'm sure.
Mm,
I'm sure. You're what they used to call bad association back in the
mm.
day. But
Oh
Anna
yeah, yeah.
Anna Twink, I have to read this one because it flatters me, and yeah, I can't scroll past that. Parker, I remember your videos back then. You were one of the first vids I saw, except JW Struggles. He was the very first. You remember JW Struggle?
yeah.
What happened to that
JW
guy?
struggle. Dude, I remember his let hang on. My Macho Man impersonation. His legendary interview with Jesse Lopez, where it's like
Oh,
like like um JW struggle. He's just like talking about, yeah, so it sucked going to meetings and stuff, and Jesse Lopez is like, yeah, sometimes I want to go in there with the machine gun and just and he's like,
cut that, cut that, cut
what?
that, cut
And
that.
it's like exactly, and I'm like we're passing this video around and we're like, oh my god, like J Lo is insane, and it's like, look at how uncomfortable JW struggle is, and he's like laughing it off, and I'm like, dude. I'm
You
like,
don't
and so
lowball. You don't lowball
you
him. He
don't lowball
lowballs
J Lo, man.
you.
You don't lowball me, I lowball you. Like, oh, that guy was so much fun. Remember how he used to make these videos that were just weird? He'd be like flexing his muscles, drinking 40s and stuff, like a weirdo. He's
Yeah.
living in some sort of government housing, and he used to have like king cobras was, I think, his drink of choice,
Oof.
and they'd be like all over the place in his apartment, and his hobby was making like YouTube videos where he's like flexing for the camera and talking shit, and like
Ah.
it was
I
insane. He had a crush on Evie Brooklyn. It was horrible.
Oh yeah, I remember that
And
whole
JW Struggle
saga.
interviews this guy. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away.
No,
But
that's
JW
fine. I
Struggle
think this is
interviews
kind
this
of like
guy.
a walk down memory lane, and it was kind of long overdue. I think this is the first time
Oh,
we've
it was so
been
much fun.
this is the first time we've been
This
back
is
on a video together, Joel, since all this,
Ah.
I think.
this
Parker,
is
were you around that day when we did the live show from Informant's channel? Were you around that
I
day?
watched that vicariously through you guys. I don't remember what I was doing. I was working or something, but yeah, that was. I don't know
It's
how you did
beautiful.
that, but that was quite something. Um, yes, Parker does talk about himself in third person, Anna Twink, and Parker's very proud of that. It's something he does. Yes.
Parker, I want to just
All
take
right.
a brush and like go after your beard, buddy.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I want to just foof it
I
out.
did brush it, but the thing is, when you are this wild at heart, it just kind of like
Wild at
tangles
heart.
right back up as soon as you brush it.
I
All
love how
right.
Parker
So,
kills us with his glasses and he gets them on purpose just because he knows we hate him.
wait, what?
Mm, nothing. No, I was just saying how you your glasses kill us, buddy. That's all. Just
Actually,
we hate him.
Joel, I
We
will
love
have
it.
you know that these glasses are responsible for a lot of good things, actually. I got a raise.
You
I got a raise, number one. Okay.
right?
All I had to do was go up to my employer and be like,
I can't see.
how about a little bit more compensation? And it worked like a charm. I don't know. Things are going good for me, and I'm blaming it all on the specs, my friend.
Parker draws a lot of power from his glasses.
I
His
listen,
glasses, his, his glasses
listen.
sneak off at night and fight crime without him.
You gotta draw power wherever you can these days. All right, that's all I'm saying. But Gloria Young says, "I enjoy your videos, Parker." Thank you, Gloria. I don't know why, but thank you. I appreciate that. All right, so I think you know what?
Dear Parker, thank you for making your videos.
Is that Rick
They
Ferron?
help my insomnia. I'm like, they help me fall asleep. I'm sorry.
It's bedtime
You're
I'm
joke.
losing
having
me, Parker.
fun.
It's bedtime
I'm
joke.
It
having
is
fun
I
bedtime.
listening.
Yeah.
I'm having fun listening to you guys because a lot of the things you're talking about, I don't know a lot of backstories on stuff.
Uh,
For me, it's just interesting to learn it as well, you know, because I was
it
kind
was
of
just
around.
internet times.
I
That's
didn't
all.
know.
If you
Yeah,
were there, you were there. I mean, there was some fun things that a lot of people did. I always just liked the freedom of like, you never knew what you were gonna get, when you tune into to some of these people.
yeah.
And it's really fascinating, and it was funny because it's like J-Lo, like this Jesse Lopez guy. Like, don't misunderstand. We're not making fun of this guy for a second. Like, I wish him all the best. I mean, the poor guy, but I mean, he did things to get a rise out of people, and like that's why he knew that people are gonna watch him, pounding 40s and like flexing with his. He would have like a wife beater or his shirt off, and it was just the funniest thing ever because he would talk shit to the governing body. He would like it was really really odd stuff, and so it's just like, but I look back at it like, yeah, it was pretty funny then, and I still look back at it like, yeah, I always just appreciate the weird stuff, I
that
guess, out
was
there.
the
And
draw of the vast apostate hour. Like it was very possible for it to become one of those train wreck situations that you just can't look away from.
oh
Very
my God.
possible. Very
Whatever happened
possible.
to that big boy, Chris, with Jenkins? Whatever happened to him?
I
Is he
don't know.
still
I hope
around?
he's okay. Um,
Yeah. I
but
remember him
anyways.
coming on the podcast and he just like sits there like he's like
Hi. Hi.
like the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was oh, that was such a funny I mean, I didn't know, like, is he doing this to prank us, bro, or is he like uncomfortable, or because he sat there like the whole hour with like this little smile on his face, like up and do you remember that, Parker? Because I wasn't there for that. That was I think you and Eric that night.
That was me and Eric, and I actually ended up booting him out of the show. Um,
Oh,
but
Parker.
in my defense, it was because like he was having constant technical difficulties, and I was trying to do a show, so I was like, ah,
I can't
and
remember anybody else we ever really had to boot out. I mean, because we kept it open to the public. Like, we would just put it out there on the Facebook, and anybody, literally anybody that that wanted to could come on, and it was just
I
we would
didn't
have
know
like a
that.
different.
I wish I knew that.
I don't know
Oh
how
yeah,
we
it was
never
it was
had
a
you
good
on,
time.
Megan. In fact, I refuse to believe that we never had you on. I feel like we had at least one episode where it was like, I know several times we did like the ladies of the VAA, and there was like 12 women on there. Are you sure you were never on one?
I don't think so. I
You were
don't. I
definitely
don't.
on the one when we were in London, though. So,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
all right.
I was on. That was the only one, I think.
Yeah, it
Well,
was kind of a.
That was fun. Oh my God,
that
I'm
was
so
so
happy.
fun.
I'm so happy I went and did that because you guys were all staying in the same place, but I had a different place. And then you guys were like, come back to our place for tonight. And I was like finally talked into it. And now I'm like really happy I did that. No regrets, because that was really fun.
Yeah, our antics in Soho were quite something. I don't know if you guys have been down to Soho in London, but we just saw like three dudes laying on top of each other, like humping and like screaming profanities, and it was like, okay, so this is London. Cool, good to know.
You're like, that's what I call aggressive activism.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, you should have seen it. Like, and then there was, oh my, I just remember one time
Were they
we were,
fighting? I'm sorry.
they were
I
just
just
they
I'm
were humping. They were
they were
humping.
humping,
they were
humping?
They were
humping. They
Like,
were
legit
like
humping.
being funny, I
With
think.
clothes on humping.
oh,
I don't know what was going on. They were all loaded drunk, I think. And
Yeah,
then
oh.
we walked by and we were just kind of looking like, oh my God, what's this? And then like these one of the guys, was it from those three? He like got up or something, or was it a different guy? I don't remember. But one of the guys like started coming towards me because I think I was looking too much, you know, I was like looking like wow. And he starts coming towards me, some drunk guy, and Maggie just like runs in and like pushes him out of the way. And we like start running. It was
Mama Bear,
freaking
Mama Bear Maggie. Yeah,
oh man.
yeah.
That was an interesting night.
If you're in
And the people who
Soho,
were
don't
actually
make eye
from London,
contact with anybody.
no,
Just
don't do it. The people that were actually there taking us around, I mean, they were really nice people, but like they abandoned us. And so
we got abandoned in London, but we found I listen. I'd like to think that we handled that pretty damn well. We found the taxi, we got back, everything was fine. But
we
yeah.
did good. And
Dot
we got
dot dot.
a good supper.
Uh,
We
uh,
had a good supper.
yeah,
Don't
we
tell my
Indian
wife.
food. That was nice. That was nice.
It was delicious.
All right, guys. I'm gonna shut this down because it's past my bedtime. Joel, thank you for hopping on and reminiscing with me and showing us talking about
Yeah,
the
it's a fun
letter.
time.
Megan, always a pleasure. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm done. Guys in the live chat, thank you for giving me comments to riff off of. And yeah, we'll probably do it
I'm
Thanks
gonna
again
for
at
all
be
the
some point.
super chats.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
thanks
be
for all the
reading
super
that
chats.
live.
I made $1.3 million off of this live stream. So thank you so much. I can retire, but yeah. All right.
I
Any
just know the
closing
comments you're gonna get on
words?
this video.
Huh?
What's that? The comments you're gonna get on this video are gonna be great.
Oh, yeah. They're
That's
going
Yeah,
to be
all.
this
wonderful.
is totally random.
Delicious.
I want to watch it back just to see what was said in the live chat because I feel like
Yeah.
you must have like
Did I drop the
really not
ball?
been paying close attention. Yeah,
Parker
you
got to
dropped
have
the
all the
ball.
fun with the live chat. Yeah, you dropped the ball.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's a lot. I'm trying to listen to you guys and do the live
I
chat
should have had
thing.
my computer up. I should have
Wow.
had it up to
Yeah.
clue into it.
We'll
Oh
get
well.
to them
It is.
next time. Next time I will be much more interactive. In fact, I might have my own designated chat comment person who I'm not
Ooh.
paying to read the live chat. That'd be great, wouldn't it? All
Way to
right,
get that
guys.
job. All right. Have a good
Good to
night,
see you
Parker. Megan,
guys.
take care,
Yeah,
guys.
talk to you guys.
Faithful
Night.
Slave,
All
I'm
right.
out.